Hello. Hey, everybody. It's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? So we are so happy you're here. We are here every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern on armeddigitalmedia.com. armeddigitalmedia.com, or let me see, Brendan Doherty has joined us. Edie has joined us. Hi, Edie. Edie is my Rodan and Fields business partner. She's fantastic and gorgeous. So armeddigitalmedia.com, armedradioglobal.com. So now what the reason you heard my voice back there is because I'm asking people, please share this right away. As you come on, if you want to share it on your page, that would be amazing. And that way it broadcasts live from wherever you share it. So Kate Greer is here. She is my friend, and she's going to share it on her page.
Oh, yeah.
Richard Cook is here, and he's going to share it on his page.
Yep.
Leo Rodriguez. I talked about you, Leo. Leo is he's designated himself the intern. So Leo is here. Kate and Jason Peck have joined, and it is so nice to see everybody. Edie, I think it's your birthday this week, if I'm not mistaken. I was looking on the Facebook. I think Edie's birthday's coming up, so happy birthday, Edie. Willie Martinez has joined. Willie Martinez is an amazing, you know Willie?
Willie.
Willie is an amazing drummer.
Awesome.
Amazing drummer. So Willie, we have to have you on the show soon. I would love that. Okay, so let's start our show. So my guests tonight are Kate Greer and Richard Cook. Now I want to apologize to Richard because I've been saying Richard Kowick for the longest time.
That's fine.
He comes on every week and interacts with us, and he's an amazing photographer, and I cannot wait to start talking to these two. So, hi, Penny James. Penny James has joined us. You know Penny James of Penny James Salon. Penny, I want to tell you something. You said to me this week, because I run around like a chicken with my head cut off, right? And I said, oh my God, I got to get this done. And Penny said to me, well, you love a challenge. And I thought to myself, no, I don't. And you're right, I do. And so all day today, when I was running around today thinking I couldn't get stuff done, I thought, Penny James said, I love a challenge. So thank you, Penny, for the encouragement. Jay Rivera has joined us. Christopher Crosby. Kia Nelson has joined us. All our regulars are here.
Awesome.
Okay, so tonight I'm calling this the Images Show, and I'll tell you why. Because both of these artists are people that deal with images.
Hi, Dave.
Dave Downs has joined us. Hi, Dave. When do we eat? Dave, I wish you were here. Well, first of all, I made delicious shrimp with garlic and all kinds of stuff and salad. And apparently both my guests thought we were eating before the show. So they arrived starving
Yes,
and
absolutely.
And hypoglycemic. Their sugar was dropping. There was a panic. And I said, no, you can't touch the food because this is display plate. So anyway, they're starving. I gave them crackers. I'm like, just have a cracker. So the poor things, they're dying to eat. So Leo, look, already has posted KateGreer.com.
Thank you,
Leo, you are, I talked about how incredible you are. RichardCoke.com.
Thank you, Leo.
Leo, what is happening here? So let's go straight to
That's
this.
very nice.
To start, I told you Leo is an unbelievable A student. So this is what Leo has posted. KateGreer.com. For our radio listeners, it's KateGreer.com. And then Richard Coke. Richard is RichardKoeK.com. So those are their websites. Let's start with you, Kate.
Yes. Hello.
All right. You're sharing. Okay,
I'm
good.
sharing.
Right,
Beautiful.
post.
We're sharing our video
Just
as we
post it.
speak.
Post.
Oh my God, Richard is on the
Richard.
ball with this
Thank you,
tech stuff.
Richard.
So nice to have.
Share the love,
So
share
nice
the
to have a
love.
man around the house. I'll tell you. For the tech stuff. Oh my God. My poor neighbor next door, Dana. I'm always like, Dana, can you come over and help me? He's very sweet. And his wife lends him out, which is nice. Okay, so Kate, when I think of Kate Greer, it won't be the first. They come together into my mind simultaneously. You have made a beautiful film that I just loved. And then you also are a voiceover. You're an actress, but I always, when I think of a voiceover person, I think of you.
Yeah.
You're like my voiceover guru person. So, what do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about Well, you moved here from Baltimore, you said, right?
Oh, I did. Yes, I did.
All right. You were doing the Baltimore accent earlier,
Oh,
right?
you want me to do?
Yeah.
This is for all the Baltimore listeners out there. This will make you feel like you're at home. Hi.
Right. We all have that. And you know, I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. God damn it.
God
So
damn
if we were playing, if the Sox were playing the goddamn Orioles, this is what it sounded like.
Oh my God.
Go Sox! So if we were in the stands, that would have sounded like. So Kate, you were saying that you do a lot of dialects too, right?
Well, yeah, I do.
What-
Yeah.
And you do an Irish one.
I
Right?
do an Irish. This is my Irish to all the Irish listeners. I hope I'm not offending you. I hope I'm making you laugh.
You did? Didn't you do a play last year at the? What was the one at the Cherry Lane?
Garbo with Joe Gula.
Joe Gula has to come on the show.
Yeah, you
Oh
gotta
my
have
God.
Joe on.
He was
he's a
picking
hoot
on
and
me
a half.
today. He's a hoot and a half. Is right. Did he write it?
He wrote it. He writes everything. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got a whole thing going on. He's really amazing. Hi, Joe Gula. You're out
Okay,
there.
Joe Gula will come on. I know he
He'll
ends up.
totally be on. I mean, he might be in rehearsal.
Orlando has joined us. Orlando is your friend, I think, right? Galazzo, he says Coke.
Hey, yeah.
Okay, there he is.
Hey, Orlando. I know Orlando.
Cynthia Nathan has joined us. Yo, Sonny. Hi, Cha Cha. It's a little thing we have going on. Years we've been calling each other Sonny and Cha Cha. Vanna has joined us. Oh, my God. So many cool people. Okay, so when did you get here, Kate, or how many years? Or you could give us years.
Late 80s.
Late 80s. And
yeah.
from Baltimore?
From Baltimore. Came here. I went to a drama school.
Okay.
And
You want to mention the drama school?
Yes.
Okay,
The
go ahead.
National Shakespeare Conservatory.
Whoa. That's a big
For
deal.
a muse of fire.
I love it.
And
Yeah, they wouldn't pick me for that.
yeah,
Not so
they
much.
would. You'd be great.
I don't know.
You'd be awesome.
But you got it. Okay, so that, and then how long would you say? It's because I know these things take so long.
Yeah.
How long? See, one of the reasons that I admire you so much is that you have stayed in the game. We talk about this all the time. Girl is right.
I know.
How many of our friends have literally jumped ship?
They have.
I mean, and run home literally with their arses on fire. I mean, this is a tough city
Girl,
to survive in,
Mm-hmm.
and we live in the city, right?
Yes, I live in the city.
So you've been here since '88.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm going to flip back and forth with both of you. Richard, you got here 18 years ago, right?
Yes.
From where?
Fresh from the boat. No.
Fresh from the boat. I love that.
18 years from Holland. I lived in
Holland.
Amsterdam. and
Wow.
I moved to New York City. Just, jumped into
Wow.
That just jumped right in.
deep, yeah.
Now, as a young person, a young man, very good looking, I will say, doesn't he have great hair? It's the first thing I noticed. Kate and I were fixing our hair in the
I
reflection.
was
And,
fixing my hair too.
well, I didn't. I never know. But your hair, I opened the door and he was just perfect. Perfectly coiffed.
Holland.
I'm telling you, that's how.
Well, I'm half Argentinian, gotta be honest.
Oh.
That's what I'm.
That's
Okay, I have a lot of
that's
Argentine friends.
Where's that tall blond guy? I'm half
That's-
Argentinian.
My
that's what
friend
I'm-
Gaston, who just moved back to Argentina, he's coming back in a little while. You remind me of him, and he's Argentine.
Right.
Gaston, very cool. All right, so he's a sharp dresser too. I noticed you're a very sharp dresser. He had like a Keith Haring sweatshirt when it came.
Always
Just
Keith
re-
Haring.
Oh, really?
Perfect,
yeah.
I missed that.
who doesn't love Keith Haring? That's very late '80s, early
Very
'90s,
New
isn't it?
York. Yeah.
When I first moved here, it was like just bursting with Keith Haring, right?
New York icon.
New York icon. So you are a photographer, Richard.
Yes.
And were you always a photographer? Did you come here as a photographer? Or did you learn the skill here?
I did. Well, this is my second career actually.
Oh, it is? Okay. What's your first
My
career?
first career, I was a tax lawyer.
Really?
Believe it or not, yes.
And
Wow.
you know what? I didn't even know that when I booked you. It's tax season.
I know.
I know.
Oh my God! I'm in a
Yeah.
panic. I
and
gave
I'm
all
like
my
the worst
receipts
when
to
it comes
Judy.
to my own taxes. to be
Me
honest.
too.
Yeah.
Me three.
Did you guys file yet?
I did.
I haven't
I'm
filed
gonna,
yet.
I'm going to go for extension again.
Oh boy, Judy Mesa. My honey bunny is. She's a accounting and finance whiz, and she's doing my taxes probably right now as we speak. So crazy. So anyway, happy tax
18,
season.
18 years ago, I started assisting working photographers here in New York. So basically, that's how I learned the trade.
So
And
you
I did-
started assisting. How did you get into that though? Did you know of it a little bit, or?
Well, I did 2 years of school just to get the theory. I didn't need another diploma because I have enough diplomas.
Are you
So-
one of those people that loves to go to school?
I loved going back to school as somebody in his 30s and
Yeah.
then go, sit and start all over again. But I didn't want to go like do the internship kind of thing. I was like, no, I need to get paid if I work. So I just went to New York and started assisting photographers. That's how I learned the trade, basically.
Wow. Let me
Yeah.
stop you for one second. Joe Jula has joined us
Joe
and said,
Jula.
hey, Joe Jula. Joe, we were just talking about, you'll have to rewind back after the show and listen.
Oh yeah,
And we talked about your play. And Joe, you have to come on the show. We talk about this.
totally got to get on the show.
So,
And George Vineyard, that's my mom and my stepdad.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Hi, they're in Baltimore?
No, they're in Ocean City, Maryland, hon.
I love it. Are they eating crabs?
I don't know. Are y'all eating crabs?
I love crabs. That's what I love about Maryland, the crabs.
I know. Who doesn't love crabs?
Right?
I mean,
And Cal Ripken Jr. Those are the two things that I love about Maryland.
not Johnny Unitas.
All right, Johnny. That's your thing, right? Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know.
You got to love your guys, right? All right. So, Richard, in Holland, growing up, you were telling.
Yeah.
So, a tax lawyer, was that something you wanted to do, or your parents, or was it just
exactly.
like
That was
right.
I was like paying off the debt of my mom who never went to college. That's kind of like how it always
Always
looked
goes.
for me. Yeah.
Wow. So you came here and you started assisting photographers.
Yeah.
And then when did you know that the assistant part had ended and you were coming of age?
Yeah, that's a good question, because at a certain point, well, also because it's my second career, so it's like this I'm a bit older than the other assistants, and at a certain point you realize it starts to like really you start to work with resentments basically, and that's when you really need to stop. If it doesn't really give you that, if it doesn't give you that spark, or you don't really feel passionate about what you're doing, then you need to figure out how to change that.
That's amazing, because I've been thinking about that this week more than you can imagine.
So I changed and I started working for myself, and that's it's a gray area, and then you have to make a choice and jump.
Yeah.
That's what I
like
did.
that.
And you talked about resentments, which it's so funny because I'm at that age now where I was just saying last week, everyone that I work with is younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everyone. And I was saying they're half my age and twice my size. Like a lot of people are just these big guys that I work with and stuff. And and one of the things that I've really worked on this year is just praying, because I'm at a crossroads, and just praying to not have resentment sometimes as you get older. But what I find is the people that I admire the most in the arts are people that just keep staying open, and the good comes in and out. It's like ebb and flow, it's like water. Just the good comes in, and then and the bad just leaves, and it goes and go. But hold on to the good, and hold on to being open and staying creative. That's what I find, because a lot of my friends are changing careers or trying new things. I'm always open to trying new things, So Kate, speaking of which, you didn't know you were a filmmaker, right?
No, I didn't. I mean, I came here as an actor, classical training, all that good stuff. And I basically just had this story to tell. That's what she told me is the movie.
Which I love. That's what she told me. This movie's amazing. Does that have a website?
It's on my film company, nickoftimefilms.com. Yeah.
Okay, let me just hold this. Nick of Times, it's the hashtag NICKOFTIME, Nick of Times,
No S.
Nick of Time.
Films.
nickoftimefilms.com.
Yes.
Wonderful. All right, maybe Leo can post that too. Leo's amazing.
You can watch, and actually you can watch the
trailer?
The short there. The short is on my website now.
Oh my God, I love it. You're going to love Kate's movie. Please go and visit that.
Cool.
So you just, was it just something that was just, you had to tell the story?
Yeah,
yourself?
I mean, it's a story. I never met my biological dad, and so I always had this fantasy of who he might be, and so I had this recurring dream that I was waltzing with him on a sea of floating phone books, and that image, I mean, from when I was a little kid. So
wow.
I knew at some point I would have to write that down and make the story kind of, evolve the story out. It's a beautiful.
Let me stop you for a second. No, Leo, it's Nick of Times Films. He's got something else. Nick of Time. Nick.
Like the nick of time.
Yeah, Nick. Poor Leo,
Take
he
your
posted
time.
the wrong thing,
Take
but
your
he didn't
time.
know. Not take your time, Phil. No,
Take your
Leo,
time.
not take your time. We'll be here when you get here. We'll have a nosh. Take your
have a
time.
nosh.
We'll have a nosh while you're here. All right. But Leo, you would love this movie because Leo has a similar. He was also he was adopted though. His story is a little different, but he didn't know his biological parents, and he had these fantasies.
Yeah.
And you guys would have stories to tell. So it is a wonderful film. Joe Jula said it's a wonderful film. Kate has the modest tone about it. Sometimes it's not a modest film. It says so much, and it is pretty elaborate. I agree, Joe, 100%. It is not that she picked up a camera for 10 minutes. I agree wholeheartedly.
Thanks.
It's a feature film. It started off as a short, right?
Well, it existed as a feature, and I made it into a short. But the art direction, and there's like underwater photography, and I almost drowned making it, and it was pretty amazing. It is not just something we shot in the bathroom.
Okay. Leo was asking us again. Leo, you're getting it. nickoftimefilms.com. Thank you so much, Leo. He's so sweet.
And nobody's drunk here.
Nobody's drunk here. We just want to eat. It's the food that's luring us in, everybody. I shouldn't have posted all those beautiful pictures of the food tonight.
I know.
Oh my God, everybody was freaking out.
Here on the table.
And I have to have, those are a promo. I mean, I have to show those. They're beautiful.
I came in and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
There
We're
is,
good.
but that's
Go.
not all- this is an Italian house. That's not all we're eating. That's just the display. Then we have pots and pots of things. This is like a Costco house. Everything's gigantic. All right. So you just and how do you start something like that? So you wrote the script first?
Okay, it basically came out of a really bad musical theater audition where it was nightmarish. And a long time ago, somebody said to me, "You have to do your own thing. You have to do your own thing." So I said, "Screw this." Of course, I'm still acting, but I went home and I enrolled in a class at School of Visual. The New School, and then I took some screenwriting classes with Molly Pearson, who's an amazing producer.
Wow. So you talk about starting again. Like you have to being open.
Yeah.
You were open. It's all it's about.
Yeah, and so I wrote it, and I raised the money. I got grants. I became like a concert promoter practically.
Yeah, but I remember that time when you were doing all that, and I know that it wasn't something that you were used to doing. When when we're actors, we're not used to having to. I mean, when you do a show, you have to promote. See, that's what I always hated about the business part of it. Like we just want to act. We just want to sing. We just want to write. But what also goes with it now is all that self-promoting, right?
Yeah.
And raising money.
Yeah.
And you did all that. I was like really impressed.
Thanks, Marie.
No, I'm serious.
Thank you very much. Yeah. But it really wasn't just me. It really did take a village, and there were tons and tons of people that donated, and we had a big team, and Nick of Time Films.
Yep, thank you, Leo. Leo Roria! Yeah, there he is. Leo's. He wrote a musical called Broken Moments, and it was in the Fringe Festival a few years ago. So Leo knows about writing. Okay, so let's go. Let's flip back to Richard. So Richard, you were an assistant, then you became a photographer.
Yeah.
And did you become an event photographer first, which you told me you do, or did you make the book first, or start the book, or were you doing it simultaneously?
Well, I did a lot of portraits, for different publications, and at a certain point, I just love to photograph people, and I turn out to be really good at doing events, because that's basically you have to make a visual story, a narrative of a happening,
right?
And you have to make extreme quick decisions, and
so really just being in the moment.
Yeah, and it fits me best, and I really love doing it. And
so you do big events, right?
Yes, big ones.
I mean, you also do weddings and things like that. If people not as much now, right?
No, I don't do weddings actually.
No. Okay.
No. It's
because
I could do a wedding, but I'm mostly asked for political events, and, fundraisers, and things like that.
So on high levels, you would.
Yeah.
Some of the names that you mentioned were Kissinger, right?
Yeah, I've worked with Kissinger twice.
That's
yeah,
amazing.
Bill Clinton,
I have never
yeah.
worked with Kissinger. I'm sure he'd love to work with me in some capacity, but we never have. I mean, maybe I could cook for him.
He would love that.
I'm sure he would. But you photographed events, right?
Yeah, so basically they're often hired to like speak and like to be at VIP parties, you know, with the most paying members or something like that.
The
Wow.
donors. Like
The
that.
donors, yeah. So basically, sometimes even like with, for example, with Hillary Clinton, it's like,
And you photographed her event as well, right?
yeah, she's being asked to speak, and then like she does handshakes with people, and they ask me to photograph it. But especially because with people like that, there's Secret Service involved, and the time limit is so restrained that you
Right.
cannot make any mistake,
Mm.
and
Wow.
that's where the challenge is all the time. Yeah.
So you have a very short amount of time to capture images while you have Secret Service around.
Well,
Is that
the
what it
Secret
is?
Service thing is kind of like you talked about the bullshit with work. It's
Yeah.
like you have to deal with it because, you know, you have people coming in, they check what you're doing, they check the light, they say they need to that you need to change it, all things like that. It's like,
Wow.
you know, it's often the person that is important. They're perfect to work with. It's always the entourage that makes it.
I can't
makes
believe
it difficult.
this
Yeah.
is what I've said this for years because I used to work in a very high end, like a wine bar in the Broadway area, and we used to get a lot of famous people. And I always said you can always tell who the really famous are because they're actually very nice.
Right. right.
They tip well and they treat you well. It's the fringe people
Yeah. Yeah.
that are, you know, that are not so nice. So let's check in. We have more people coming on. So Jimmy West has come on. Andrew Holmes. Julie Angelini came on. She's from Australia.
Wow.
She watches us from Australia. Jimmy
Welcome.
West. Hey, Maria. Greetings from Cuba.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
Cuba, Missouri. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, wonderful, Jimmy. Nice to see you. Andrew Holmes. Hi, Andrew. Andrew, you want to come on sometime and talk about he produces all kinds of TV shows.
Cool.
Suzanne Mason has come on. Mark Busanik has joined. Edith Gershman, my friend Edie, who is just wonderful, my Rodan and Fields partner and lovely, gorgeous woman. She says you are both accomplished. Yes, they are accomplished. This is no small potatoes tonight. I might put that hashtag down. Hashtag no small potatoes here. All right, now it's the Hillary Clinton thing. Let's because Kate, you did a voiceover for Hillary's campaign last year.
I did. Oh,
And I didn't know that when I booked you together.
oh,
By the
cool.
way, I knew about your voiceover, but I didn't know that he had photographed Hillary. So go ahead, talk about that.
Well, when she was running, one of her main videographers, Alan Piper. Big shout out to Alan Piper. He's also a cinematographer, photographer. He was the videographer for the whole campaign, and he needed someone to voice these, political ads, and he asked me to do it. His wife is a really good friend of mine, Jen Houston. I don't know if you know Jennifer Houston.
I don't know.
She's an amazing singer, actress, voiceover talent. She's fantastic. Anyway, they brought me on. I did it, and it was one of my most favorite voiceover jobs to date. It didn't pay the most by any stretch of the imagination, but yes, I'm a Hillary supporter.
Me too. Me too.
So
listen, you support who you like. That's what we
yeah.
like, and I've
Yeah.
always loved Hillary, and
Yeah.
also because when I first started teaching in the early '90s, she was the first lady, and she and Marion Wright Edelman started the Children's Defense Fund,
yeah,
which was instrumental in putting the arts back into lower income schools.
awesome. Yeah,
And that's where I worked. I worked in a very low income neighborhood in Brooklyn. And there was no art. There was nothing there. So she and Marion Wright Edelman raised this money so people like me could be paid as artists in residence. And that's when I first came to love her, because she literally created my job.
cool.
And I didn't teach before that. So I teach because of people like that.
Incredible.
So we have that connection. Now, you were going back to the voiceover. You also were the voice of Macy's for a while, right?
I was. I did the Macy's campaign, one of the Macy's campaigns during the new Martha Stewart collection.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's also.
Could you remember some lines from it?
Oh, I do.
Do one.
Oh my God, it's so
Dreams
queer.
about it.
I love it.
Oh God. Okay.
So now we're watching the Macy's commercial, and this is what we hear.
Okay. Introducing the new Martha Stewart collection. at Macy's.
Oh yeah, that was you.
That was me. It's,
I
on, my,
love
it's on
it.
my website with Jessica Simpson, and Donald Trump is actually in it.
You're kidding me.
No, I think
Because they
he's
were
in it.
carrying his shirts and ties at the time.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Wow.
So yeah, I did was the voice of Macy's. I also had a bunch of gigs on Grand Theft Auto.
Really?
Yeah. Some, there's so
How
many.
cool.
Grand Theft Auto Rockstar Games really employs a lot of New York voice talent, so that
Good to know.
Keeps us going.
Wow.
And
Have you ever done any audiobooks?
Yes, I did one audiobook.
Because I know my friend Eric Yves Garcia does a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, it was a romance novel. It was a bit of
Whoa.
erotica.
Really?
Yeah, I had like
Does your mother know about this?
I don't know. Mom.
Don't listen,
Turn
Mom.
This off.
Turn this off. Hey, check, someone's at the door. Get me. All right, let's acknowledge Marcus Simeone came on, and he said Hillary spoke at my graduation from
Awesome.
NYU at Yankee Stadium. Amazing lady. Yes, Marcus, and we love Marcus. He's been on the show. Michael Sawyer. Hi, Michael Sawyer. Sabah Talib has joined us. Hi, Sabah. Penny Bonacci has joined us. Hi, Penny. Sorry yesterday. Okay, so now, Richard, I want you to start showing your book.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about this book, talking, but he brought it in tonight, and I literally could not. It's
Wow.
breathtaking.
Get it close.
This
Johnson.
is his book.
Okay.
Okay, so
There you go.
this is the book that Richard has photographed. It's all his work. It's called New York, New York.
Beautiful.
And Richard, I want you to. I asked him to mark a few pages to show because it's just. But tell them what you were telling me about the storyline. That it does have a story, right?
Yeah. Well, the nice thing about a book is that there are a lot of people involved making this book. This book is it's now out in Europe, and it's coming this month in the United States.
Awesome.
Just
So-
arrived.
When does it get released? When does your
The launch will be at Rizzoli on the 25th of
Nice.
April on Broadway in New York City.
Broadway? Okay.
Thanks. Yeah, and it's called New York, New York, and that's it. Yeah, and it's
Okay. Let me
only
just show.
pictures.
Okay, show the pictures. These
Yeah,
are
I can
amazing.
show you some pictures.
So I saw. I was looking through most of it. It's just breathtaking. So people will be able to purchase this now, Richard.
Yes. So basically, on my website, richardcook.com, you see an Amazon link. That's
Okay.
where you can purchase it. But if you,
Would it
if
be
you-
in also bookstores?
It's going to be in bookstores too. But also the 25th, when we kick off this book, you can purchase it, and I can
That night. So
I
where
can
is
sign
Rizzoli?
it as well.
Oh wow.
That's on. It's Rizzoli on Broadway.
Okay, we'll find it. We'll
Yeah.
Rizzoli.
Yeah.
I
Rizzoli,
believe Rizzoli.
Yeah.
Okay, so show some of the
Yeah, so
pictures and
this
tell
I can
some.
show you some scenes that I photographed. So basically, this is stuff that I photographed while walking on the street, and it's kind of like this is like a movie scene.
So what I like about your stuff is you photograph the behind the scenes of the behind the scenes. So
Right.
that is a movie set, and those are all extras. And you were showing what is like we've done movie sets,
Right.
so we know. I've been on a
Yeah.
ton of them and played extras, played principals, all that stuff. But what you don't see as viewers is what's behind
Right,
all
right,
the
right, right.
equipment, all the other street
Setup.
stuff, all the
People
dirt.
waiting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Waiting. So basically, it's a book when you're a New Yorker and you would look, you go through this book, you recognize a lot of stuff while you just walk in the city. And
So for New Yorkers, like we were saying, this feels like just a day in our
right,
lives.
exactly.
But to
Yeah.
someone looking at this, it's like, what is all this stuff, right?
Exactly.
So show a few more, Richard. I really want to. Now, for a radio audience, what he was showing before was a
yeah,
scene
exactly.
from it was probably a movie.
Yeah,
And
movie set. That was Gotham, actually.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
Oh,
There's
what
a
is
TV
this?
show
This is
Gotham.
beautiful.
So this is
It's a mother and a child.
that's a mother and a grandmother and a child. Actually,
Where was that?
That's on Terrace View on the Park. Terrace
Oh,
on the Park.
wow.
It's this building actually.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
This crazy building in Queens. At the,
I don't know
the
that
Flushing.
building.
On
Wow.
the Flushing, where the park is?
Yeah, exactly, where the park is. So basically, it's also stuff that you maybe don't even recognize as New York, but it still is New York.
Wow.
Let me show
So
you
this is it's just, and it's a really big book. So look at this. This is Really
is
cool.
also nice. And basically, what I love to show is
And people you don't stage people for this. You just
No.
photograph them as is.
yes.
So-
Photography it always seems very candid and realistic, but sometimes you have already an idea what you want, and
Yeah,
you
but
wait for
that's-
like
of course.
20 minutes until it happens.
But you're not hiring people to
No,
pose for you.
no,
That's
no,
what I'm
no,
saying.
no,
It's
no.
different when people do that. They art
Right.
direct. Like we have a friend, our friend Irina is a makeup artist, and her boyfriend is a photographer, and they actually art direct
Mm.
their photographs. So yours or you're capturing life candidly.
Right, but if
Right.
I ask people if they want to be photographed, then sometimes I ask, can you stand up? Can you look that way? Don't smile. You know, I sometimes direct them a little
Yeah,
bit.
okay, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Callo Mesa has joined us. James Solomon Ben has joined us. Hi, folks. We're talking to Kate Greer, filmmaker, actress, voiceover artist, and Richard Koch. He is a photographer. He's coming out with a book April 25th. The launch is
New
at
York, New York.
New York, New York is the name of the book. It's New York daily life, and
Yeah.
it's behind the scenes. It's just amazing.
Mm.
And,
Yes. You
Go
want to
ahead.
show-
Yes,
oh,
please
okay.
keep showing.
And it's also things that like we New Yorkers know this. This is Broadway. People waiting with their playbills, trying to get it signed.
Wow.
But
you
the
must
funny
have-
thing is, if a
That's
European,
we know this so well.
right? But if a European looks through it and they see like the blown up Union Rat, they're like, oh,
What's
what is
that?
that? And then we're like,
You're
that's
right.
the Union Rat.
That's
the
the
big
union.
scab rat.
Yeah, Scab Rat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because go ahead, tell them what that is, Kate, because you know we're both in unions, but explain what that is.
The rat, the big blow up rat that Richard just
Oh my
you
God,
just
that's
said.
so
Let me get the
funny.
picture.
Yeah, get the picture out, and you
Is,
can explain this because this is
Yeah.
from a union point of view. So you're right. If someone in Europe would not know what this means, they're like, "What is that?"
The giant rat.
It's a giant rat
I
that
love
is
rats.
blown up.
With, like teeth
Yeah,
and like a tail.
and it's on a site
and it's
usually.
like 20 feet
Well,
tall.
you see people striking.
Right, here it is.
Oh,
All
look,
right.
here it
Oh
is.
my God! So show it, Richard. Show
Richard
it.
has a picture.
All right, Kate,
So-
describe what the rat
so
represents.
when there is a building and there are workers that are working that are not in the union will blow up this rat with a generator. I can't stand generators. But
It's true. This is so crazy.
and the rat will stand outside, and then the union people will give out like literature or whatever and try to keep people from going in the building.
And a scab is, explain what that
a
is.
scab is someone who works against the union when there's a strike going on.
So I remember years ago, there was a SAG strike, Screen Actors Guild.
Big strike.
Right,
Huge
big strike. And so no actors that were in the union, which we are, would work. However, there were non-union workers that would cross those lines,
That's
and
right.
they were called scabs.
Oh.
It's a terrible,
It's a terrible, terrible word.
but because they're poaching in a sense, and they're also, here you are trying to get your rights as a union and all this, and people would do it. And they, besides, non-union people get paid so much less.
Nice.
So you're actually enabling these big corporations to not pay what people are worth. But
Right.
then it got resolved. Walker Vreeland has joined us. He is amazing broadcast person. He just wrote a play, and From Ship to Shape is the name of his play. And Walker was on the show, and he was just fantastic. Hi, Walker. Hi, honey. All right, Jeffrey Campbell, my great friend, tax attorney. Oh, I mean, not tax attorney, accountant. Jeffrey, you have to go back and watch it. He started off, Richard Koch started off as a tax attorney. Now he is a famous photographer. Can you believe this?
It's amazing.
Jeffrey is an accountant. So I'm sure this is his busy season.
Right.
Love the Rat.
Yes.
See? Oh, you
Yeah,
would
I know.
love this book. Show this book again. So Richard's book is coming out, so you can get it starting April 25th at Rizzoli. So can anybody walk into Rizzoli that night and get a book?
Yeah.
You have to be
Everybody's welcome,
invited.
The 25th. No. Come. Everybody.
The
should come.
25th. What does
Yeah.
that fall on?
I
It falls on a
That's-
Wednesday.
That's yeah,
Wednesday
it's in the
night.
evening.
What time
Yeah.
does it start?
It's like from 6 to 8. It's
6 to 8.
I'm going to be interviewed by Miss Rosen.
Oh,
She's
yeah?
like a journalist. She does like she writes articles for art publications.
Oh, cool.
And Miss Rosen's going to interview me on stage, and I'm going to show some work. We talk about my work for like an
Wonderful.
hour, and then we're going to I'll sign books, I guess.
Wow.
Very cool.
That's
Pretty
really
exciting.
cool. So All right. So, Kate, you did a similar thing. Like, I love it. Like, when you have to do these launches and things like that. When the movie first came out, I remember you had like a big event, right?
Yeah, we had a screening. We invited all the donors. We rented out Anthology Film Archives, which is a great indie film house down on East First Street.
I remember.
East Village, still there. Great space.
Yeah, Chris Shapiro, one of our friends, his film he showed there as well. But I knew it because of your film.
Yeah,
I had been there to see. That's what she told me.
Yeah, So to thank all the donors, we had a big screening for family and friends, and we had suggested donations, but really it was mainly a huge thank you to everyone who was a part of the film, who donated, who was a big supporter of it. And we had a great, and then afterwards we had a party at a place down the street, and my friend Jen Houston, who I just mentioned, made a big, that's what she told me, cake.
Wow.
It was so cool.
And the rat was not there.
There were no rats.
There were no blown up rats that night.
There were no scabs.
Oh my God, no scabs. All right, Evan Solers has joined us as well. Hi, Evan. Evan was on our show. He's a colorist.
Oh.
He specializes in that. He works for Ion Salon down in Soho. So evanthecolorist.com. He's really cool. He also happens to be Walker's boyfriend. They are so cute.
Oh, look who joined.
Catherine Salvio. Oh my God, Catherine Salvio. Let me give a shout out to Catherine. She's very special to me. And Kate knows her as well. Richard, you would love her. If it was not for Catherine Salvio, I would not be on the radio doing Facebook Live because I had no idea about tech stuff whatsoever. I was in a full-on panic. Told Catherine, she said, would you like me to come to the apartment and help you? And I said, oh my God, please. So she came, and she and Jimmy Bell, thank God for Jimmy Bell, he's our producer and engineer, they got together and they hooked me into the radio station, Arm Digital Media, hooked me into that so I could go live on that, and then showed me how to Facebook and all that stuff. So thank you, Catherine Salvio. I will never forget that you helped me with that. And Leo said, we love Salvio. Yes, we do. And Leo, and you should see Leo and Catherine together. Forget it. They have both been here at the apartment in the studio audience helping us out. So we appreciate our friends very much. Okay, so now let's switch over. It is usually...
it's not actually. It's nice that you mention that because we cannot
friends?
do our work without the help of friends.
Absolutely.
That is so important.
We cannot. You said
No,
we cannot.
yeah, exactly,
Absolutely.
It takes a village.
And who would you say are the friends in your life that you rely on the most, or that have helped you along the way? People that have donated, or people that have helped you with the work?
Yeah,
or
whether it's because like this is like published by a publishing house, but I've done crowdfunded stuff.
Have you?
And then basically it's like help can go in many ways. It can even be the like on a Facebook photo, but it can be because I cannot look in somebody's wallet.
Right.
And I should definitely, if people
And you might get arrested if you are looking at somebody. Right.
And also, you don't know, if people can afford things, and so don't assume that.
Right.
And
that's
also,
true. You don't know.
And nobody owes you anything anyway.
Yeah. You're right. I love your attitude.
So that's so I'm always very grateful if people do support me in any way. And and without that, I wouldn't be able to do things like this.
But you're right, and it's also so you can support people by sharing their videos, by sharing the links, by sharing this video so other people can see their links, and telling people about Richard and Kate's work. Okay, I'm gonna take a minute, and we're gonna go to our food section.
Yeah.
The food section of our show is called "Go Ahead, Keep Eating." All right.
I didn't even know there was a food section.
Oh yeah! Why do you think we have this display?
I don't know. I just thought it was a crazy thing.
All right, so tonight's, let me just preface it by saying that these two guests are dreams, because when I asked them if they had any food restrictions or preferences, both of them were like, "No, whatever you make, we'll be happy." And I thought, well, that's a first, but because usually people do have food restrictions. So this is what I chose to make. Shrimp in garlic sauce with red peppers, peas, and onions over fettuccine. This is going to be so good. These poor guys are so hungry. This is our display plate. Then I made a delicious salad with romaine lettuce. You didn't know about this section of our show, Kate?
No,
oh, yeah.
I didn't.
Oh, yeah. With we have cucumbers, radishes. What else we have in there? Tomatoes, and I'm going to put a nice white balsamic vinegar and just regular olive oil tonight. Nothing fancy. It's going to be a straight, beautiful, delicious, traditional salad. Now, what do we have for dessert? Because we always have dessert. What's
Already
more
had
New
one.
York than donuts? That's it. And my favorite thing to not be able to button my pants because of is donuts. That's my favorite dessert. So tonight we have little donuts for dessert, and that's what we're eating after the show. Who's saying what?
Dave loves the food section.
Dave, I love that you love the food section. A man after my own heart. All right, the food section. See, he was waiting for it. Thank you for understanding, Dave. I love this guy.
You gotta meet him.
I can't wait. All right. Yay, the shrimp and pasta. Catherine Salvio knows. Roberta MacGyver has joined us. Hi, Roberta.
Ah.
Leo Rodriguez says, shut the front door. I'm hangry. Oh, my God. Leo has enjoyed many of my meals. Yes, I always, in case you didn't know, and sometimes my guests don't know, I always cook on What's the Story with Maria. That's part of the show because but here's the mission of my show. I love to show off my friends. I have amazing friends and I'm really proud of them. And also, I'm always fascinated that people are always creating something in the city. It never gets old. I never get tired of it. And there's always something new happening. So there's always something to talk about. And I just want to let you know about these things. So going right into that, Kate, what do you have? What's something that's coming up for you, or what's something that you want to be doing more of, or do you want to keep promoting your movie, or what's something that's in the forefront for you?
Well, I did just do an episode of Jessica Jones.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Tell us about that. Jessica Jones is such a cool show.
Yeah, it just the whole season, just season 2. Yeah,
Oh, thank you, Richard. He's so cute.
Get closer, Richard.
Oh, wow. Jessica Jones, which
Yeah.
is such a cool show.
Yeah.
On Netflix?
Netflix, yeah. I'm in the second season in episode 11, 20 minutes in.
Wow. Okay, no, this
anyone
is good
has
to know.
ADD.
Well, no, I'll watch. My girlfriend watches it on binge. We binge watch it. It's so good.
Yeah, it's great.
First one was good.
Yeah, first season. And so that's something I just did. And then the other thing that I'm working on with my cohort and writing partner, Rebecca Ray, big shout out to Rebecca Ray, who lives in your neighborhood.
Oh, wow.
She was a big producer on my film and also in the film.
I remember her at the Q&A. She was really cool.
And brought on Roberta Wallach to co-star in the film with us. So we are writing, we're always trying to create something, but I'm writing a new piece about a group of female bakers in New York City.
Oh, really? I didn't know about this.
Yeah.
This is all new to me.
Well,
Kate, you were holding out.
And a magical deck of playing cards. So
Wow.
that's kind of what's cooking in my mind right
No
now.
pun intended.
Yeah.
Because they're bakers.
Yeah, bakers cooking.
Yeah, I'm liking this. I like where this is going. All right.
Yeah, that's it.
And when do you start on that project?
I've been working on it for a long time.
Yeah, but
so
listen.
I just have to get it on the page.
My friend Tony Patelis was on a few weeks ago, and he said that because he wrote a movie, and he said he literally, I said, well, how did you start? He goes, I just went back and looked at stuff I had written 15 years earlier.
Yeah.
Like sometimes that's what happens.
Yeah.
It takes that long.
I love Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Those kind of crazy surreality type movies where surrealness meets reality. That's like my whole thing.
I have to stop for a second because did you know that Joe is flirting with Dave now?
I know.
You see what's happening. Joe Jula says, I'm obsessed with Dave. And then Roberta is clapping. And then Dave comes in with, I'm obsessed with Joe, the playwright. I love these bromances. Fantastic. Dave is straight. Joe, we don't know. Oh, we do know. But
well, his play is called Gay Porn Mafia.
oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, now we know what Joe is. And I love that they're just that's why I love New York. It's just so fluid and happy. Everyone's so happy. We get along here. All right, so that's what you're working on. I didn't even know. And
Yeah.
Richard, what is something that you got your book is launching?
Yeah,
what
the
else?
book. I'm glad the book is done because it was a lot of work to make it.
And I remember you posting about it over a period of time.
Full year. There was I really love to involve the people that I knew in my social media to find subjects to photograph.
Cool.
Because it had to be New York, but I love to.
But you
show.
said that you asked people, which I
Yeah.
love. So you didn't. So how did you do that? How did you ask me?
No, I did the live videos. So I went through the city and then I asked people, if you have an idea, let me know. Set it in, put it in the.
And
comments.
what were some of the
I'm
ideas that you had that people gave you?
The Fulton Fish Market. Actually, this view on the park was also somebody.
I love the one
said,
of the
"Bring your
Fulton Fish
camera."
Market. That was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know which
Well,
one?
you know, actually, that movie set that somebody called me and she said there is right away. They're playing they're making a movie right away. I'm like really difficult. It's so difficult to talk now because I'm so wired. I
No,
just
I
got
hear-
off the airplane from Europe, so I'm
No,
like.
tell, so tell me
So
why.
somebody
What do
said
you
they're
mean?
shooting a movie in Dumbo. Come to Dumbo. And actually, I was just getting a haircut and actually like jumped with my hairdresser in the car
No.
to go to Dumbo.
And
yeah.
they kept cutting your hair? I love it. That's like what's up talk,
Because
right?
they're like, she's like, do you want to come with me to Dumbo? He's like, yeah. Okay.
You're getting your equipment
And
ready?
then so basically I'm there on the set, photographing until I'm being kicked off the set. That's what it is, because they were like, what are you doing here? I'm like,
Right.
first I don't answer, and then I'm like, I'm taking pictures, and I'm like, okay.
Oh, so
Moving.
the old
Yeah.
don't answer thing. I love that.
Yeah.
And did you go with the I don't speak English thing too?
No.
No.
That's a good one.
I love that. Well, my mother used to do that. My mother, of course, is from Italy. She has a very thick accent.
Right.
But when the nuns would call and I'd be in trouble, my mother would say, "I'm sorry, sister, no speak English." My mom spoke English really well. But, you know, you can try that too.
Right.
And then, so that was one of the ideas.
So now the book is done, and now it's what you just said, promotion, and it's a lot of BS. But I do love it. I do love, like, you know, to just, it's showing the love, and I love it. It's a real product of love for this city.
Awesome.
And now I've been picked up by a gallery in the Netherlands to sell my work.
Really?
So I was just now in Holland for an art fair.
Wow.
I've never been on an art fair. So I was promoting New York City on an art fair.
That's cool.
It was
That's
like
so
really
cool.
strange, yeah. Because then,
So listen, we could use some ambassadors for America right now. Like some,
exactly.
to me, it makes me so sad when I see what's happening in the world, and I don't want to get political. What I like to put out there, though, politically speaking, is not from a political point of view. It's from a heart point of view. We, as New Yorkers, whether we came here from somewhere else or people grew up here, this is such a beautiful city. And please come and visit. Please come and see what we have here. And please, if you're in another country, don't be afraid of what's happening now, because what you see on television is not who we are. It is what is being put out there for ratings. But we are amazing people. Most of us get along really well. So because I deal with a lot of tourists in the different businesses I work in,
Right.
and I noticed a slow down in tourism, and it makes me very sad.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and not just that, but they also are very cautious, you know, and I just makes me sad. New York has always been such a wonderful place. I mean, even after 9/11, you know, what got us started again was the tourists coming back. So please don't be afraid to visit us. This is such a beautiful country. Please come and see us. And we appreciate your patronage very much. Now, where did you say you were in Holland just now?
Yeah.
Where did you, and you just flew in tonight?
I came 3 hours ago.
Now, you don't have to go for the joke. Or your arm's tired. I have to do that. You just flew in, boy.
Yeah, I just flew in. So I literally ran home, dropped my case, jumped in the shower, and then I came here.
What? You look fantastic. You see how boys are?
Your food
That's
makes
it.
me kind of like stay awake.
Well,
and
I
like,
kept-
'cause
I was-
probably if I would have eaten your food now, I would have been sleeping. So
Oh my God. Yeah, you see, we can't eat before the show because then everybody wants
that's
to
the
sleep.
union rule. Right?
Now, George Vinard is,
That's my stepdad.
oh my God, hi,
And my
George.
mother.
And your mother. He said, Maria, love your show. You are so knowledgeable about everything and everyone. George, thank you.
That's nice.
I think
That's a
he's
whole letter.
flirting with me. Choice of guests is really awesome. Yes, they are. Love seeing my beautiful daughter Kate on it. How sweet is that? What a great surprise. And love Ma. Oh, we love you guys. They're out in Baltimore?
No, they're in Ocean Pines, Maryland.
Even nicer.
Yeah. by
Oh
the water.
yeah, by the water.
Yeah.
They're eating crabs.
I don't know. They
I
might
love.
be.
We have to go to Maryland and eat some crabs. Don't they put it on like big things of paper? And,
Yeah, it's like newspaper and mallets, and it's really spicy, and like you have to drink.
Oh, I love it.
Beer
and
or
Old Bay, right?
Lots of Old Bay.
Lots of Old Bay.
Old Bay. Very
Oh my
Maryland
God,
thing.
we'll have to have that on our show
Oh my
sometime,
God,
maybe.
that would be amazing.
Richard, did you ever think about going to different cities and photographing, or
Um,
because I grew up in Boston? Boston's an amazing city to
Right.
photograph as well.
well, you have to live in the city to make something like this.
Okay,
Because
okay.
otherwise, it will be like a tourist view.
Yes,
So
yes,
you need
sure.
to be in it to like to
So, but
know.
this is what I seems like to me about your book is that you photograph it from an insider point of view.
Yeah, exactly.
However, you originally were an outsider.
Yeah.
So when did you feel like you became an insider?
Well, somebody once told me that, especially when you're an immigrant like me, the moment you leave your country and you arrive in a new country, you will never be actually the new citizen, even if I am a citizen. But you'll never be. You always will look at your new country with different eyes, and you will always look at your old country with new eyes because you live in a new. So you're actually hanging in the middle. And that's so I am a New Yorker. I feel very much a New Yorker, but I still look with like my Dutch European eyes to the city.
I love it.
I you know,
that's beautiful.
That's kind of like, I still see the columnists, and somebody said that I look at the city in kind of like a different way, because she always thought New York was such a gritty town, but for me it's just a vibrant, diverse, beautiful, colorful
it's
town.
always moving, and it's always growing, it's always evolving, there's something always happening. It never stops.
I live here for 18 years, and I grew up with New York, of course, through television.
But tell me about that, because you were talking about that earlier, that when you're in Amsterdam, also in Italy, same thing. They always have New York on the news, right? So tell me about that.
Yeah, there is this deep connection, of course, through history, but there is this like obsession what's happening in New York that's on the news in Holland. Like, you know, I hear from my friends like, oh, you had a snowstorm last week. I'm like, it was like one day, and then like, you know, they know about it.
They know about it. Oh yeah, my dad knows when there's an accident on traffic on the Brooklyn Bridge.
Right.
And he'll call me from Boston. I'm like, it's like, you know, there's. I'm like, what? But because he's watching it on the Italian, mind you, television, and they're showing New York. So it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Now I also wanted to ask you. Yeah, right. The connection. Let's go back to that. New York was settled originally by. It was called New Amsterdam.
Yeah.
It was settled by the Dutch originally.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of history still in the names around here of neighborhoods.
What are some of them that you can think of?
Well, Coney Island, for example. A rabbit means konijn in Dutch. So Coney Island used to be Rabbit Island.
Rabbit Island.
Konijnen Island.
So there was lots of rabbits out there, and the Dutch came in and said, Konij. Get off of each other. We don't need any more.
Brooklyn is Breukelen, city of Breukelen. Harlem is the city of Harlem.
Wow. This is so cool, right?
Yeah, it's very cool.
You learn something every day. You got to stay open. Ed Kutu has joined us. Ed Kutu is my friend from hii school. We went to high school together. Eddie, are you going to that reunion, that chorus? We're having a big chorus reunion, like 30 years later, whatever. We're raising money for our old high school, which has no arts, no chorus anymore. So we were like national winners back then. We really were. We sang at the White House. We sang for,
wow.
It was Jimmy Carter and who's the vice president? Mondale.
Walter Mondale.
Yes, and Jimmy Carter was in Camp David, so Mondale, we were across the street. It was amazing. We sang there. Yes, he is going. I'll be there, Eddie. I'm going. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. Okay, so we have about 3 minutes left to our show. So, Kate, what do you want to leave people with? What do you want to say?
Thanks for watching, and thanks for having me on.
Oh, my God. It was my pleasure.
Just if you want to learn more about the film, That's What She Told Me, you can go to nickoftimefilms.com. If you want to find out more about my acting and voiceover stuff and other projects, you can go to my website, kategreer.com, or check me out on IMDb. Or more fun, turn on Jessica Jones, episode 11.
How cool. One of our guests, Heidi Germain Schnapoff, is
awesome.
A stunt woman on Jessica Jones. How cool is that?
Excellent.
It's one of the things she does. So Kate is one of these people that's always doing something. So go and check out her website. She's always going to be doing something. And Richard, what do you want to?
Well, yeah. Also, thanks for having me. You're so dedicated to this. I
love it.
Yeah, for sure.
I really enjoy like checking in.
I'm dedicated to joy.
Yeah, but I know it's dedication because like you probably also sometimes have your bad Tuesday, and then you're always on, and I really love that. That's inspiring for me.
Well,
because sometimes you got to stick to it, even if the numbers are low, but you just keep on doing it.
Yeah.
And 25th of April, Rizzoli, New York, about New York. That's it. And I'll be walking on the streets with my camera.
And you'll be walking on the streets with your camera. Wow. Are there neighborhoods that you haven't reached yet?
Yeah, well, the book is Staten Island is poorly represented.
I was just going to say, that's usually the forgotten borough. That's where they dump the bodies anyway. Sorry, Staten Island, but you know what I'm talking about.
Staten Island.
Listen, I lived in Staten Island for 3 years when I first moved here because I had friends there. I lived in this gigantic house. It's pretty amazing out there. but it is a little bit
big.
detached and
Yeah.
it's really big.
I went there twice, and the weather was so miserable that I it's like, oh my god. I went to this like Jewish like cemetery in the snow. It was beautiful, but it was like also
It's
depressing.
very Staten Island has areas that if you don't know where you are, we were talking about energies also because I live in a very old building, and same thing, depends on where you go in New York City or the boroughs. You pick up energies, and in Staten Island there are very heavy energies in certain parts, if you know what I mean. So the thing is, here's a project for you, Crete. Oh, I think we got to go soon. How much time, Jimmy?
You get 20 seconds.
20 seconds. How did that go so fast? Okay, thank you, everybody. This is What's the Story with Maria. That's Richard Koch. He's a photographer. Go see him at Rispoli on April. That's Rispoli. Rizzoli. Thank you. Rizzoli on April 25th. In Kate Greer. Check out KateGreer.com. That's what she told me is the name of her movie. We love you. We appreciate you. Please come back every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Thank you.
Bye.